What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. You guys will never believe what kind of sneaker I finally was able to get my hands on. A Nike Dunk Low. I know, it's insane. And as if the other 130 plus versions of Nike Dunk highs and lows haven't been enough for you, we've got one more that just recently dropped. But this colorway is actually one of my favorites that's dropped to date. Not only that, but there's a bit of a hidden message in the sneakers app that I've been trying to decode and I need you guys' help with. So without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Nike Dunk Low Special Edition Dusty Olive. It's a great looking sneaker, that's first and foremost. It's a dunk. I mean, come on, we already know what's going on with the dunks these days. These look like one that came straight from the brain of Travis Scott, but indeed they did not. They actually are a variation, according to the sneakers app, of the Ugly Duckling pack of 2001. If you guys remember, that was a pack that was exclusive over in Japan that dropped in 3 different colorways. That was the plum colorway, the veneer colorway, and the ceramic colorway. And a lot of people ended up calling the veneer colorway the Donatello's because of the prominent purple along with the brown that looked like the Ninja Turtle. Now, as a Ninja Turtle fan, somebody that was a bit of an 80s kid and more of a 90s kid, I love the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So anytime that you want to put a name that has to do with turtles on a shoe, I'm in. But then we started seeing images of the Dusty Olive, and of course with the prominent gold color, a lot of people call it orange, and naturally the orange, people started calling these the Michelangelo. So the streets have dubbed the Dusty Olive Dunk Low the Michelangelo. Let's take a little deeper look. All right guys, starting with the upper here, it's a regular Dunk Low. It looks a lot like the veneer dunks, honestly. I mean, a lot of the color blocking is still the same. You have the brown nappy suede in the quarter panels of the sneaker. You have this really kind of rushed kind of Cordura mesh material wrapping around the collar of the sneaker and in the back. And then you also have that same suede material in the toe box as well, all brown. Now, moving up from there, you also have the goldish swoosh here. Now, this one looks a little faded from other areas on the sneaker that have a more prominent pop of gold. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Taking a top down look at the shoe, we see yet again that really nice suede toe box here. We also get this nice pop of gold on the laces here. No extra laces included with these, but I'm not mad at the gold. I know you guys probably are going to want to swap them out with some laces that you may already have, but I like the gold on these. Moving up from there, we have the same mesh tongue that's on the back of the sneaker. This time we have a gray tongue tag here with that gold Nike writing. By the way, if you can't already tell, materials on these are really, really nice. This is a good looking suede. This is the kind of suede that a lot of people want to do that test there to see if it changes colors when you swipe back and forth. This one definitely does change colors. It's a good looking shoe, great materials, especially for $110. Moving around to the heel of the shoe here, again, you get the brown mesh. You also see the dunk tag in pro gold on this one with that Dusty Olive Nike stitching on the back. You know what's kind of an interesting fact on these? Even though these dunks are dropping at all different times, they really seem to be getting produced all around the same time. I was looking at the tag here, and the tag here said October 28th of 2020 to January 18th of 2021. A lot of dunks lately that have been coming out that we've been talking about, they have that exact same production date. So it feels like Nike was just pumping out a ton of these dunks all around the same time. And it's wild that we didn't see the drop of this sneaker until May, June timeframe, but the sneaker started production all the way back in October of 2020. That's just wild to me. You're gonna get a white midsole with a pro gold dunk outsole on these, very nice. Got more super glue on these insoles these days, but the insole is a Dusty Olive insole with the pro gold Nike on the heel. Really, really nice. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Dusty Olive and pro gold Nike Dunk Low Special Edition. This is a fantastic sneaker. It looks great, great materials, looks good with shorts or looks good with cargo pants, however you guys want to style them. I'm interested to see how you guys are styling these. Sound off down in the comments. But the interesting thing about this shoe is I know a lot of people just chalked it up to, well, it kind of looks like an Ugly Duckling, kind of. It's kind of a cousin to the veneer Dunk Low. And while it definitely is, Nike actually said something very, very interesting on the sneakers app. And I know a lot of times we don't necessarily take a look at what sneakers is actually saying when they're describing the sneaker. We look at the big pretty pictures, we hit notify me, and we keep it pushing. But on the sneakers app, they actually mentioned that the Dusty Olive and Pro Gold colorway were a nod to team colors that had close ties with Nike's origin. And I thought about that for a second. I had to reel it back and say, okay, let's think about this for a second. So what team colors are basically green and gold or dusty olive and gold. And when I tell you guys, I scoured the internet. I went everywhere. I went back to the origin of Dunk on the Sneakers app. I looked at the original 12 schools that ended up being the schools that were picked for the Be True to Your School pack back in 1985 for the original Dunk highs. I looked at so many different things to try to figure out what team's colors are green and gold. And I could only come up with two things. The first thing I thought about was Baylor University, because you guys know that the Baylor Bears, their colors are also green and gold. And they actually did a huge rebranding campaign with Nike a couple of years ago where they totally changed the entire aesthetic of their athletic program. It was a big deal that they did with Nike. But then I was thinking, well, is that really a school that has close ties with Nike's origin, considering that Nike was born back in like 1972 or something like that? Or is there something else here? And so I also thought maybe the other angle here is the University of Oregon. Now, the University of Oregon's colors tend to be a deeper green color, and some people say that they're green and yellow, some people say they're green and gold, but then my brain was like, well, maybe if something was more vintage looking, maybe it was kind of a dustier green color, maybe the Pro Gold was thrown in there as well. I don't know. I started getting a little bit stuck on these, and I've really been trying to figure out what in the world the Pro Gold and the dusty olive, what team colors are represented that have to do with Nike's origin. And I'm gonna ask you guys the same thing. Sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think are the team colors that the Sneakers app was alluding to when they talked about the dusty olive and the Pro Gold being included on this sneaker. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. One day I'm gonna make my way to Nike, and I'm telling you, I've got a list of questions that I want to ask some of the historians at Nike, and one of those questions is definitely going to be, what team were you guys talking about on those Pro Gold and dusty olive Dunk lows? I'm really interested. But for now, we have a really good looking sneaker. Looks great. It's gonna look great on foot. Going for some really interesting prices on the resale market. Of course, I think these right now are running somewhere around $250, maybe even upwards towards $300 right now, which is kind of wild, but hey, I mean, it is good materials. It's a good sneaker, so it is what it is. Hopefully you guys were able to get your hands on these. If not, I apologize for that. Hopefully you guys don't have to pay too much money on the resale market. But that's pretty much all that I have to say about these. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments. Let me know what your guesses are about what team was used for the inspiration behind this colorway, and also let me know what you think about the sneaker. Were these a must-have for your collection? Are you getting sick and tired of dunks, or were these just a hard pass for you, but you got your eyes on something else? Sound off below. Let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here now on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Nike Dunk Low Special Edition in Dusty Olive and Pro Gold. And until next time, I'm out.